Stage 1 to Day 2 of your poetry writing this week. Okay, so your learning objective for today is to demonstrate your understanding of a poem. And if you have a look at your success criteria here, by the end of this lesson, you will be able to say what a poem is about. You will also be able to use drawings to illustrate your understanding of a poem. And then hopefully you'll even be able to write keywords or phrases to show your understanding. First of all, I would like you to complete your retrieval practice. Today's retrieval practice is going to focus on prefixes. Before we get started, please could you discuss with your adult what you think a prefix is? We have all learnt about them before, but don't worry if you can't remember. Perhaps a chat with your adult might refresh your memory. So discuss the word prefix. Once you've had that discussion, I'd like you to take a look at these words I have over here. Now, a prefix, you should have discussed, hopefully, is a letter or a group of letters that is added to the beginning of a word to change its meaning. Now, the prefix that we're going to be looking at today is this one here. It is the prefix un, made with a U and an N. Un. So that prefix goes at the beginning of a word to change its meaning. We're going to be using these words over here to sort them into our grid. So I'm going to choose one word and go through it with you, and then you can complete the rest. I'm going to choose the word zip. Now, zip does not yet have the un prefix added to it, which means it is our root word, the original word. So I'm going to write it in here. Zip. So my root word is zip, and then in here I need to add the prefix un. Prefix goes at the beginning, so I need to start with un, and then I need to add my root word. Un, zip. So now I have zip and unzip. Two words that mean different things. Okay, so I've done the first one for you. So in cross off zip, I'd like you to sort the others into the grid. Some of them may already have the prefix added to it, so you will need to write the root word. Okay, now we're going to go through the answers. So if you want to, you can tick or fix your work when I show you the answers on the screen. Here we go. So we did the first one together. We had zip as our root word, our original word, and then we added the prefix un to make unzip. Then you should have also got tidy, untidy, clear, unclear, fair, unfair, do, undo, happy, unhappy. Well done if you got those correct. Okay, you might recognise this piece of writing here as the poem that we started looking at yesterday. Now, I'd like you to listen carefully to the poem. I'm going to read it to you again. And then after this, I'm going to get you to read the poem by yourself, ready for some questions to discuss about the poem. Are you listening? Show me your best listening ears. Well done. The seaside. We're going to the seaside. We're going on the train. I can see the sea, I cried. I hope it doesn't rain. Shoes off, feet bare, sand between my toes. My family hired deck chairs. We set them up in rows. I'm hungry now, I lick my lips. I wonder what's for lunch. Sand in the fish and chips. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Okay. Well done for listening so well to the poem. Now it is your turn to look at the poem because I would like you to read or try and read the poem to your adult, or you can read it to yourself. It is up to you. So I'd like you to read through the poem. Maybe read it a few times until you know it quite well. Okay. Once you have read the poem, I would like you to discuss with your adult the following questions. What is this poem about and how do you know? I'd like you to justify your answers to your adult by using the word because. So you might say, I think this poem is about because. The next question I'd like you to discuss with your adult. What do you think the person who has written the poem can see at the seaside? And then finally, the last question I'd like you to discuss. What might the weather be like at the seaside? Now that you have answered those questions and hopefully come up with some fantastic ideas, we're going to move on to our activity for today. As you've done before, you can either choose to do the mild, medium, or hot level of challenge for this task. If you choose to do the mild level, shown here, I would like you to draw a picture to show what the poem is about. So I might draw, for example, a fish and I expect your drawings will be far better than mine. I might draw a fish because they get fish and chips. You can draw as many little images as you like to show exactly how you understand the poem. Also use your answers from your discussion with your adult about those questions to help you in your drawing. If you decide to go for the medium level of challenge for today, I'd like you to draw a picture to show what the poem is about and write some key words to go with it. So I've drawn my fish and I could just add in the word fish. Fish. Okay. If you decide to go for the hot level of challenge on this task, I'd like you to draw a picture to show what the poem is about and write key phrases from the poem to match your pictures. So instead of just writing the word fish for my drawing, I might write the phrase from the poem. I might write sand in the fish and chips. Okay, so I've written my phrase or that line from the poem to go with it. Now, I know that yours will be far neater than mine and your drawings will be much more exciting and far more colourful. Okay, so it's up to you whether you go for the mild, medium or hot level of challenge for today. You can use the template shown here that is on the website as well if you like, or you can just use a plain piece of paper. If you use a plain piece of paper, you might want to write the title of the poem at the top to show that that's what your drawing is about. Okay, good luck. You have worked really hard in today's lesson, so our final part of the lesson is going to be our plenary. For this task, you won't need to write anything down, you will just need to discuss with your adult, or you can follow the questions with me as I go through them. So, question number 1. In the poem, what does the writer hope doesn't happen? Is it A, that it will rain, B, that it will be sunny, or C, that they go to the seaside? Have a little think. Tell your adult or tell yourself, or you can write it down if you want to. Write down your answer. Question number 2. What makes the fish and chips go crunch, crunch, crunch? Is it A, the batter, B, the sand, or C, the seawater? Question number 3. How do they get to the seaside? Is it A, by foot, B, by train, or C, by bus? Okay, once you've answered those questions, the next slide will show you the answers, so get ready to check your answers. So Key Stage 1, that brings us to the end of our second lesson for your writing this week. We're just going to do a quick reflection on your learning for today. So the learning objective for today, if you remember, was to demonstrate understanding of a poem. So if you want to tick it in the air or dot it like we do at school, the first part of your success criteria was I can say what a poem is about. So you can either tick in the air or give yourself a dot if you're not sure still. I can also use drawings to illustrate my understanding of a poem. So if you've managed to do that, give yourself a tick in the air, and if not, give yourself a dot. And finally, I can even write keywords or phrases to show my understanding. So if you manage to write some keywords or phrases on your drawing, give yourself a tick. If you didn't quite manage that, give yourself a dot. Right, okay, so that is the end of our lesson for today. Well done for working so hard, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow's lesson.